I got a lot going on. I got a lot going on. I got. You ever heard that before? You know, I know, like, just dating and stuff like that. And, you know, to me, I think it's, and shout out to the homie Jay Smooth. Thanks for commenting. But we talk about this a lot also. Is that you ever meet somebody, a woman, and, you know, you calling her, you texting her, you know what I'm saying? And, you know, because like I always tell people, you know, I'm 51 now, but, you know, we live in the same area, we live in the same city, even if we don't. Like, I don't have time for games. So it either is or it won't be. And I've even gotten this answer and gotten into this with people who I've dated before, you know, for periods of time, and, you know, on and off or whatever. But it's a great line. I got a lot going on, or I got a lot of stuff going on. You know, I got my kids to worry about. I got life to worry about. I might even have another man to to worry about. And I'm here to say, you know what? When you run into that quote, you say, guess what? Or this is one thing you can say. You got a lot going on. I'll holler at you once you got it going. Because, you know, once again, we talk about here just trying to elevate ourselves, make ourselves better people. And it's not always necessarily about money, but it's about using time wisely. Because as we all get older, that is the biggest commodity that we definitely understand. When you're younger, you don't understand the commodity of time, because when you're younger, let's face it, you think that you have all of the time in the world. But as you start to get older, you realize that's not the case. So if you run into somebody, a woman in particular, because that's the only people I hear from, I rarely ever hear a guy saying, you know, I got a lot going on in relation to not going out on a date with you or not finding a way to spend time with you, then in my estimation, it's time to move on. Because guess what, shorty? You got a lot going on. So since you got so much going on, that's fine. And I'm not just speaking for me, because I hear this, you know, a lot of times, you know, with different guys, just, you know, and us talking about, you know, stories and trying to figure out, like, you know, when you do wind up single and you're dating someone, and I'm telling you, and I get it. Sometimes people don't want to hurt your feelings, or they don't want to, you know, come across as like, you know, a jerk or whatever. So my thing would be, I would rather not even have the number. I would rather not even, you know, now, so we're talking about now, like, in relation to the beginning stages of it, you know, because like I've said in another video, I've had somebody tell me, I met him, had somebody say, well, yeah, I'll be free in a few weeks. And I remember telling her I might not be on earth in a few weeks. Because, you know, and her and I actually were vibing, and I thought, you know, kind of had a good vibe about everything, but told me 3 weeks. Nah, I'm not waiting. And I'm still cool. She's still a cool person. I see her from time to time. But there's no way on earth, you know, as a whole grown man, I'm going to sit and have a, you know, conversation or dating and somebody, I mean, not unless you're like, you know, some super busy businesswoman or lawyer or doctor, you're always out, or you're going through, you know, something real like a messy divorce, something like that, and you legit don't have the time. But my thing is that what I know from living on earth for a while is that people do what? They make time for the things that they want to do. They make excuses for the things they don't, me included. So that's how I know so well. Because guess what? If I don't want to do it, you know, if I don't want to be a jerk to somebody, you know, maybe I'll come up with an excuse as to why I don't do it. For me, luckily with my friends, a lot of times I will just do stuff, so it doesn't come up a lot. Or if I'm, you know, romantically dealing with someone, you know, I typically do it. And I don't have a whole bunch of reservations, you know, depending on what it is. But I don't have a whole bunch of reservations and excuses for not doing anything. Because guess what? And I just want to say this to everybody out there. We all got a lot going on. There's not one person I know that lives on this earth that goes out, that goes to work, that has kids, is trying to raise kids. In some situations, people raising their grandkids, doing stuff. Everybody has a lot going on. But here's a new thing you could say. I just don't want to have anything going on with you. That's all. It's okay. You know, because once you become a big boy or a big girl, you should be able to deal with that. You should be able to hear, hey, listen, check this out, dog. I kind of thought we was cool. I kind of thought we were vibing. But listen, this is what we're going to do. You know, I'll hit you up when I'm ready to like kick it, or when I'm ready to talk or do whatever. And I'll do that. Because at a certain point, at a certain age, you know, people just need to be real with each other. You get what I'm saying? Just be real with each other. Like, you know, people, we don't have to play the, you know, I got a lot going on. I'm like crazy busy all the time. I just can't seem to find the time to do anything. You know, my kids are driving me crazy, all of this and all that. Just say, hey, listen, don't have the time. I'll give you one more story. So, speaking of that, and I didn't even get I got a lot going on, but so some time back, so go out, a couple of the homies, and meet some people or whatever. So I say to her, we chopping it up and everything, and I was like, yo, and I was just joking around with her. It's like, yeah, you need to buy me a drink, Bob. So she started laughing and everything. I said, no, I got you. I'll buy you a drink or whatever. So, get the drink. Sitting back, busting up, talking. Yo, this is some of the stuff that I do. Yeah, we can, get together, do this, do that, everything. And everything seemed like a go. So then, I, text her, hit her up once she got home. I'm assuming once she got home, because it was a couple hours after I had already left the place. And so, it's like, it's no response. All right. So I'm just like, that's a little weird, because, we had a good vibe, like I said. So then, I said, I ain't going to sweat the situation. I'll give it another day and a half, whatever. So I text again. Still no answer. Still no call back. No. And you know what I'm about to say, because I'm going to get mad about it. No respect. Everybody sees their text messages. That's why I even tell my other homies, I don't buy it, because sometimes they'll try to help me out and say, well, maybe she didn't see such. No. They saw the text message. Unless they took your number and when you called, they blocked you immediately or did whatever, or left you on red, right? But what is the purpose? And, most of the women that I've talked to, in their 40s, late 30s, 40s, or whatever, at that age, what is the purpose? Just say, hey, listen, and I've had this happen before. You go to buy somebody a drink, they'll say, no, thank you. And I guess what I say? Thank you. I really appreciate that, because, you just saved me, the way drinks are now, about $15, just to get some BS. And I tell these stories because, of course, I got other really great stories to tell that were successful. But I tell these stories because these are the ones, in my estimation, that become more commonplace. They become more normalized, where people think that it's an okay thing to do. And it's not. Like, just be real with brothers out here. They can take it. Especially if they come up, they smelling good. They got a nice watch on, nice cologne. You know what I'm saying? They seem like they are halfway decent person, and they're not going to, try to curse you out at the bar. Right? Or try to follow you to your car and do some foolishness. If they're decent, upstanding people, it's okay. Even if I'm gonna give y'all some other game. You can guess what? Do what was done back in the day. Just lie. Say, hey, I got a guy, and now this is the best time to use this line. And I'm just going through some stuff right now. I'm just going through a lot right now. That's the best time to use the line. Use all that before you give me the number. Use all that before we start buzzing up on the phone, and then I gotta wait 4 weeks just to take you to the corner bakery or somewhere. Because if you make me wait that long, that's all you gonna wind up getting. And I'm saying that the corner bakery is a bad spot. I actually like it because you know what? If you go with me to corner bakery, you'll go with me to Del Frisco's or Ocean Prime. But then again, maybe you won't because you got a lot going on. But hey, if you feel some of that, if you've been through that before, if you heard that line, put a little comment in the section or share it with the girl that tells you she's got a lot going on, so that's why you haven't seen her. But hey, until next time, remember, live life. Don't let life live you.